says the Lord. The Bible reads, behold, I have refined you, but not as silver. I have tried and chosen you in the furnace of affliction. God said, I am the one going to try you because I have chosen you. Amen. In the furnace of affliction, where everything is at its hottest. In the furnace where things, amen, the heat is so high that it's left in, amen, a mark. The Bible said, amen, blows that leaves the wounds. It's not just blows. You can get blows that doesn't leave what? A mark. But the Bible said, blows that leaves the wounds drive the evil away from you, and strike that meets the inmost person. So God said, for my name's sake I have chosen you. Amen. And I'm going to try you for my name's sake. Amen. In the furnace of affliction. So you must get used to being tested. 1 Peter 4:12. The Bible don't think this is strange or something alien or weird. God said, I myself, because of my name and because you have my name, the Bible says all those who have my name on them, He said, I am going to try you by putting your economy to the test. I know what I build. I want you to know, and I want everybody to know what I build. I don't care what pandemic or what come, it withstands what? The test. Sometimes when I'm dealing with God just personally on certain things and I look out like avocado, I say, Lord, the stalls are so empty and the fields are nothing growing there and there's nothing on the vine. Amen. There's no cattle anywhere. I don't think we are going to be able to withstand, amen, this economic downfall. You go, what are you telling me? I built it wrong, son? Either you were right or I'm right. What do you think? I built it to withstand this epidemic drought, or, I mean, this drought, or not.
My government is everlasting.
You know, you go, either that will outlast me, or else. What do you think? I know the answer to it is a rhetorical question. You know, this is when I must use my long-term vision to get past my immediate.
Perfect.
Do you understand me?
Perfect.
Who do I serve? What kind of God he is? He's omnipotent, all-knowing, omnificent, omnipresent. Amen? And I'm born of God. Amen? I overcome that's what's in the world, even my faith. So God himself going to put you through the fire to make sure you're durable. To make sure you know how to pass through difficult times and situations. Like the Rose of Sharon, it's in a place where nothing what? Grows. A difficult place. The Bible says it grows in difficult places. Dark and difficult. God will grow you up in the furnace of what? Affliction. You see, many of us want to be chosen. We want to be used by God. But to use by God, you have to be able to execute the country, the government. You have to be able to run all the things that come, as Pastor Chow was saying. A government is not one-dimensional. You need a help here. You need a financial component. Amen. You need a protective component.
Foreign investment.
Yes. You see, there are so many facets that has to make up this cabinet to make this government run. You have to be able to meet every need in every situation. Military, there is so much. So when you go to God, use me, I want you to understand what you're saying. You see? So God said, I will test you because I've chose you to use you. I'll make sure everything that I put in you, you are familiar and you know to do it. That you can run the country. If not, what's the point of me making a city? Just for someone to take it? The city has to function without any broken down wall, meaning no component that can be invaded. Or is it the first pandemic outbreak and you're done? You know, we have a saying in the world, what do we call them? One time wonder? One-hit wonder? They did one time disappear.
Yeah.
They couldn't withstand, amen, all that interface with their life in the different areas. So God said, for my name's sake, I will refine you. But I ain't going to do it like silver. It's going to be much worse than that. I'm going to try you in the furnace of affliction for my name's sake. He said, this is not about you. This is about what? I endorse you. And because I endorse you and announce you and go, this is mine, I also stand behind my product. I'm going, my city, my product is battle what? Tested. It's battle ready. So whether you wanted to go in the fire or not, or just time or chance of the enemy, God himself will lead you right in there. You know, sometimes I'm talking to a brother and sister, and they go, man, the closer I get to God, Brother Fraser, these fiery ordeal, the testing, they go, Brother Fraser, pray for me that I get out of there. Pray for me that I can go back to the nice, easy, peaceful life. And sometimes I start laughing. And they go, Brother Fraser, don't you care? I go, I do care.
But what do you think?
They go, they go, well, why are you laughing? I go, I'm not sure which gospel you've been listening. You are finding this process strange, alien. And the truth about it, you have been chosen. You are about to represent the Lord. You're about to learn how to run your life, run your family, run your home, run your health, run your mind, run your soul, run your spirit. Keep your spirit strong, able to withstand sickness and trouble. You're about to be counted among the overcomers, and you're asking me to help you get out of the fire. No! Amen. I'm like, just hold on to the Lord. Now the next one I'm going to show you is very, very important. In this process, you need to do something. So you need to have the appropriate attitude. You understand? That God is about to use you or choose you when you're passing through challenge and situation. In the book of James, he said, consider it all joy, my brother, when your faith is being tested, because I am about to learn how to run my life effectively. Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Appropriate attitude in the fire.
Now God is merciful and he encourages us in this process. He encourages us. Go to Isaiah 43 verse 2.
43 verse 2?
Yeah, a few more pages down. He encourages us. Isaiah 43 verse 2. Did it say 42 or 43?
He says 43.
43, okay, that's it. Say amen when you do it.
Amen.
Look at this now. He said, when you pass through the waters, I will be what? With you. Now this is very encouraging. As God is putting you through the fire to test you by affliction, he's testing the healthcare system and testing, amen, the thinking process and testing how you will, how you use your volition, and testing the emotional stability and the spiritual strength, amen, and your character and your behavior, amen, and making sure you understand Christ as your righteousness, and testing the peace structure, and testing, amen, the joy, and testing you abiding in the Spirit, and testing sanctification. As he is passing through the fire, what did he say? I will be with you. He said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego going in the fire, but I am what? With them. This encourages me. That as I'm going through these affliction, and I'm passing through these pandemic and financial upturn or downturn or whatsoever, knowing, amen, I do have ye that's within me that's greater than the world. I have a strong spirit. I have, amen, I have an omnipresent God, a God that is always present to be with me as I pass through this situation, an omnipotent and all-powerful God walking through with me. This encourages me. Christ was merciful. This path was already set for us to come. In essence, when God created everything, he gave man the government, he gave him sovereignty, dominion. He said, I want you to govern it, manage it. He hasn't changed from that. He's still bringing the man to the governing stewardship that he wants. He's 100% committed. But Christ says, I'm teaching you how to become little governors. I ain't going to leave you as offering. I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to give Paraclesis. But you're doing it. There's no way around it. The only difference is you're doing it what? With me. He walks alongside you. So he said, look what's going to happen. You're going through that furnace because I've chosen you. Amen? And he said, it's not a simple test. You see? You know the funny part? We won't accept that in just about no area in my life. Would you go on a plane that has not been tested?
Perfect.
You know, I think, I don't know, I'm not quite sure if COVID had meet a pandemic, but I heard it's at a meet or it's about to. Now, they believe, from what I heard, they think they might get a cure within the next 3 months or so, but that's not the problem. If after they get the cure, that's not the problem. What's the problem after they get the cure?
Distributing it?
No, the tested. It still needs to be tested like for a full what? Year!
Gotcha.
Finding an antidote, how do you know it works or what situation? They need enough people and enough place and enough time to what? You have to test it. Will you take it without any testing?
Perfect.
If I tell I just come up with it and I haven't tested it anyway, will you? You gotta be mad. You know, so, but yet we find it strange when God is what? Testing us. We have anything that involves people's life going on a plane, there are several systems in place to make sure it has passed through all what? The testing.
We find it queer.
You know. So the Lord said, amen?
That's very true.
When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. And though the rivers, they will not, amen? And through the rivers, they will not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned or scorched. Nor will the flame kindle upon you.
Hallelujah.
You see, when you pass through the pandemic, it won't get you. It won't scorch you. It won't kindle. But you have to, you notice that word. You have to pass
Through.
You got two things. One, you have to pass through. So you're not going to what? Stay there. And two is what? With you. Church, I told you at the beginning of this process, I can't save you from what's coming. But what I can do is help preparing you to have the right attitude to pass through it and to understand who you're going through it with. So we got to get through.
We got to get through.
Say we have been chosen
We have been chosen
to be tested.
to be tested.
Not like silver.
Not like silver.
In the furnace of fire.
In
the furnace of fire.
The furnace of affliction.
The
furnace of affliction.
But we passing through it.
But we're passing through it.
Because God is with us.
Because God is with us.
You have to understand this process. Amen? You are passing through it because you are chosen. The Bible teaches in Hebrew 12, all sons of God, amen, eat scorches. All sons of God eat discipline.
You're illegitimate.
He scourged. He said, if you have not been tested, that city does not belong to me.
You're illegitimate.
It's illegitimately saying it's my city.
Perfect.
I used to, when I was the first Christian, I thought once I become a Christian, God will just shower me with every blessing and grace and favor. I'll be just, floating in clouds.
You mean you were delusional?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And God goes, I'm blessing you and give you grace and favor.
And training you. And
I am hardening you to what? Difficulty. I am making you not to be a broken what? City.
Perfect.
I am strengthening you for my glory because I have chosen you.
Perfect.
sorry.
Perfect.
You say you'll not be another statistic. That's not happening.
Perfect.
For my name's sake, I'm about to guarantee, you understand? You're going to operate properly.
Perfect.
You said you're all interfacing with everyone. The healthcare, the Medicare, the governmental, the educational, the spiritual. I am promising you, the whole structure going to work. He said, I have evoked it all, and I'm going to test it all.
Perfect.
All of it, that's all. You got a spiritual domain, it's going to work. If they test that, no entry.
Perfect.
If they test the educational or the social, it's going to work. They test the health care or the safety, it's going to work. You see, I'm putting you through it, son. All of it. You see, if I didn't do that, you know it belongs to me.
Leaving you without excuse.
God told, I'm putting a thorn right in your side, but my government's still going to work. Because it is tested.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right beside you,
Yeah.
right in the camp.
Yeah. You have to understand this process. So our attitude towards challenge has to be right. You have to understand, if not, as I'm telling you, you're going to be quite surprised and end up in frustration you where you shouldn't be when God lead you into certain thing or the enemy attack or time or chance because you don't understand what's going on. Your government is about to be battle tested. Your health care, you understand, going to be, like what my friend said, they have a system to deal with pandemic. Pandemic, I mean. They have a system. It's about to be tested. Amen. Do you know you have a system? It's quite easy to say you're spiritual when you have not been spiritually tested. It's quite easy to say you're so healthy when your health has not been tested. It's quite easy to say you have a strong will when your will has never been tested. It's quite easy to say you're quite brilliant when you have never had to solve any problem.
There's no comparison.
It's quite easy to say you're emotionally stable when you have never been emotionally challenged.
I'm so great. I'm so
That's what
strong.
Peter said.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I'm perfectly capable,
Perfect.
but I have not been tested.
Exactly.
I'm not denying it.
Jesus goes, oh. After
Yeah,
the test, you're
I'm
gonna
not like them. Look at them.
Yeah.
They don't know themselves. Me? You don't know what you're talking about. You're going to test them.
I'm the super apostle.
Tests makes it clear of who you are. To you and everybody else. You and everybody else. I tell you, I have a friend I work with. And he goes to the gym. He gets a lot going on. Lots going on to try to keep himself healthy. But he observed this and he goes, I've been working with you for 4 years. I've never seen you sick. I go, I don't really get sick. Then he watched me sick for a couple of days. When he gets sick, he's sick for like months. He goes, he saw me yesterday. He goes, how could you recover in 2 days? How is that possible? Oh, who I serve. Who I serve, my friend. The system must be tested to have a testimony. Do you understand this process? The system must be tested. I don't know what you're going to face, but I know you have been chosen. What I know, you have to be tested. What I know, God is going to go through the test with you. Yeah. What I know, the tests cannot kindle upon you. It can't stay. I know you're going to pass through it. What I know, God's going to be glorified. Amen? And what I know, you need the right attitude as you pass through each and every one of these domains. And you need to lay hold of them. The enemy will try to convince you, just like Job's friends were trying to do it. The reason these testing come is because you did something wrong. No! You're testing because you're chosen. Do you understand? The reason you've been testing, God has forsaken you. No! God is going through it with you. Are you listening to what I'm saying, church? I'm telling you, you're going to need to hold these things that you've learned in the light in your water transition and your fire transition.
Perfect.
Are you listening to what I'm saying? You fail to put them into the right place and secure them. Amen? You know, one of the things, like, let's say like any pandemic or like even in the medical field, do you think they just have a system and they just wait for the pandemic? Do you think that's how that works? I know my wife does it at work all the time. When you have a system in place, do you wait till the emergency happens before you try to see if the system works?
No.
What do you run ever so often? You should be running.
Fire drill.
Test! Yes, you do fire drill. You pretend it's happening. You find different scenario to mimic what could happen to see if you are what? Ready. Are you battle ready? Do you start saving till the emergency comes? No, you save before the emergency. Do you start taking care of your health after you get sick? No, you prepare for it beforehand. Do you deal with the spiritual domain when you're fighting the master spirit, the spiritual beings? No, it's too late then. I can't go for training in the middle of the fight. I need to fight. So all the training has to be done where? Beforehand. Do you understand this process? I want to move to the final domain. I just wanted to finish off that domain there. I'm hoping to finish this message this week and next week. This discussion will conclude the 5 domains that you need to get angle over. Amen. The last domain I want to touch on is ignorance or darkness. Amen. They kind of both work simultaneously. The Bible says you have been translated from a kingdom of darkness or a place, a sphere of darkness, ignorant, amen, into the kingdom, amen, of the Son of God we love. The Bible says the kingdom of light, where all things are made what? Visible. The Bible says light in Ephesians, light makes everything visible and what? Clear. You're seeing what's going on. Notice as we pass through this path, God said, I'm leading you into fire. You're going to pass through, but I want you to understand why. My name's sake, and I want to harden you to difficulty.
Why and how?
And I want you to know how you're going through it, not ignorantly. I'm with you. I'm saying you have to pass through water and fire. But I'm saying is that the water, you see the water sometimes things seem what? When you look at a sea, what do you say? It would overwhelm you. Okay, you're with me. I'm with you. And the fire, you go, don't worry about it, it can't burn you. It can't burn you. Amen? Well, you need one of the things you're going to, one of the domain, Satan is the first prince, one of the sons of God, the first prince to run a kingdom by what? Ignorance. Darkness. The more ignorant you are, easier it is for him what? To manage you. He's the first one go, my kingdoms work best with the more ignorant my subjects what? Are. Because if they're not ignorant, he can't do what he's doing. Amen?
Perfect.
You need to stay out of that place. The Lord have already moved you objectively, but subjectively you need to stay away. The Bible teaches in Hosea 4:6, God said, my people are dying for what? Lack of knowledge. They don't know enough. They don't know enough about government and running governments to be effective. Amen? But you're going to need to know in order to operate effectively. Hallelujah. So we need to lay hold of where God, Paul said it this way in Philippians, he goes, I'm laying hold of he who lay hold of me. You need to not just hear that you're in the kingdom of light, the Son of God love. You need to understand it and know to operate in it properly. Amen? I want to pick that up this morning as we try to finish off the last domain that we need to operate in effectively. Amen? I want to pick it up at the Gospel of John, chapter 3, verse 18 to 21. Gospel of John. Chapter 3, 18 to 21. Say amen when you're there.
One more time?
John 3,
John 3.
18 to 21. Are we there? The Bible reads verse 18. He who believes in him, who clings to, trust in, rely on him, amen, is not judged. He who trusts him never comes up for judgment. For him there is no rejection, no condemnation. He incurs no damnation. But he who does not believe, cleave to, rely on, trust in him, amen, is judged already. He has already been convicted and has already received his sentence. Now why? Let's see why. Because he has not believed in, trust in, amen, trust in the name of the only begotten Son of God. He is condemned for receiving to let his trust rest on Christ. So whether someone is condemned or not is totally based on the belief. Do we believe in the methodology, the one God has given, amen, to deliver man, to save man by or not? It's not even so much what he has done anymore.
Perfect.
What kept man in perpetual sin was based on what he is what? Doing. But what keeps him in condemnation or the effects of sin is because he won't rest in the place, the plane God has took to carry him out. Now, as we know, Jesus have created some of the greatest controversy in the spiritual faith. I've shared with you in Buddhism, as I said. Buddha said, look at the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, and you will see the wisdom of it. I agree with the Four Noble Truths. You got look at it. He said, if you look at it, you'll see the world is just misery and suffering, and desire is what link you. And if you get rid of desire, you'll be fine. Use the Eightfold Path. You see, but he said, if you look at this, you'll see the wisdom. Amen? In the Quran, vice versa, Muhammad said, if you look at the beauty of the Quran, it's set up, how it relates to God, how God relates to man, and man relates to God, how it teaches you how to live, and the carnal paradise we go in, you'll see the beauty of it. So both Buddhism showed a methodology. Look at the methodology. Look at the Four Noble Truths and the Eight, and vice versa. Muhammad said, look at the methodology. But Jesus did something very different. You got to want to look at the methodology. Look at me. He said, I want you to look at me. I don't want you to put your trust in no system. Because all the system put back the pressure on who?
You.
Man. Man just have to manage the system. But Jesus said, no. No. I want you to look to me. He said, it's not a system. I am the way. I am the truth. I am the bread of life. This is when the Jews say, they go, just give us the methodology. He goes, I am it. He's blasphemer. How can he say he's the way? He's the bread of life. He's the Son of God. He is the truth. How can people eat him? So I all present a methodology, a strategy. God present Jesus. Here I am. Come in the volume. I'm going to do it all. So God said, what condemns you? You're not accepting the fullness I have sent. I have put myself to be your deliverer, your peace, your strength, your wisdom, your government. Emmanuel, I am everything. I am the everything you need. No, I don't care how much you're sinning or not sinning. If you have me, you're fine. If you have me, everything else will run. If you don't have me, nothing else will run. Amen? And he got, if you don't, you have already condemned. There's nothing you can do to help you or no one else can do to help you. Verse 19 went on to say, the basis of the judgment, the indictment, the test by which men are judged, the ground for their sentence, lies in this. The light has come into the world, and people have loved the darkness rather than, amen, and more than the light. For their works, deeds were evil. He said the reason they're being sentenced is because they love darkness instead of light, and light has been come. The way to know God, to know to run your life, to run the government, run your spirit, run your soul, run your body, run your family, you understand? Live an effective life has come. But man don't want to do that. They rather stay in darkness not knowing.
Thinking he can hide something.
Yes.
Like,
And the Bible says the reason why they're choosing not to know than to know, because they like doing bad things. They like wrong things. So they don't want to learn how to do it what? Properly. They like being in this constant state, this toxic state of constant 911 or challenging or pain, or it's like we said, some people they're addicted to challenge or suffering. That even when there's a chance to do it, the Bible says because of their deeds, the reason for the sentence is because the light has come, but they like darkness more than light. There's a saying in this world, ignorance is what? Bliss. And what it means in a sense, if I don't know it, I don't have to what? Do it. And they kind of lie to themselves to say, I am justified if I don't what? Know it. But if the light didn't come, they would have. But the Bible said, because light has come and they won't come to the light, you're under judgment, you're under condemnation because there is a way and you don't want to what? Know it. God, I get your suffering. I get you don't know to operate the spirit. I get you don't know to run the infrastructure. I get you don't know to keep around. I get you don't know to maintain a long-term or short-term vision. He said, I get you don't know to deal with challenges. I get it. But if there was a way didn't come to fix that, I would have get it. But I don't accept it because there is a way I have put in place to deal with it all. And you refuse that because you like to live in ignorance. He said, and this is the basis of your sentence. He said, why I'm coming against you is because you have a way. I don't care what you're dealing with. He goes, there is a way. Right. Jesus goes, I am the way. I am the light. I'm the way to see, to understand how to deal with this person, this thing, this situation, this circumstance, your spirit, your soul, how to keep a strong spirit, how to deal with sickness, how to deal with trouble, how to overcome, how to run a city that doesn't have broken down wall. Right. You understand this process? Sir. But you go, the reason you don't come to this mark is because you love darkness. The things that you do, the activities, which are your deeds, you love it. No, Christ, no, I love God. He has a pull punch. Because there's only one reason. You love darkness more than light. You love the thing that doesn't deal with knowing far more than you love. He go, if it's not a love thing, you'll never stay there. We like to make excuse, but you see, in Proverbs 4:23, the Bible says, all of the issues that happen in your life arise from what? The issues from your heart. The desire, what your heart loves. He said, all of the things that are going on with you deals because of what? Where your heart is infested. So the Bible said, guard your heart. Because all the issues that arise in your life is as a result of what your heart is set upon. If you love light, you're going to love... There are many, many things in our life that needs to be dealt with. There are many areas that needs to be re-established, converted, run as an effective part of our life. Now, if you love light, you're going to draw to the Son of God, which will show you how to get this area developed, get it fixed, etc. I've been with the Lord now quite a while. In my earlier life, anyway, between 15 to about 28, my life is in such a confusing state. It mirrors anything in the world or some of the most challenging in the world. Or the worst thing, compared to, I'm not even like stealing or killing or nothing like that, but just the decision and the people and things, it's just out of sort. Thank God the Lord had moved up on me in my early and go, okay, you need to get understanding in these areas. You need to get light. You need to know how things should be done through Christ, when, how, everything about it, the whole governing process of this whole thing that you call life, that constitutes your life, is a disaster. So Lord, what should I do? I only have one thing for you. One thing, son. I want you to learn to love the light. I want you to learn to cling, rely, depend on the light. And He will shine light in all these areas. He'll show you where you need power, where you need health care, where you need faith. And Jesus just starts rearranging. You know, every so often I look back at my life and the Lord goes, this was you running it, son. This is me running the city. What do you think? There are no comparison. I don't even want to remember. If you want anything, you'll find almost you'll never hear me talk about my past. It's not worth talking about. It's just an ignorant, dark person running a city. The city runs as a rundown city. You understand? This is why Paul said, all you have done, you understand? All you could do now is be what? Ashamed of it. Right. You understand this process? Right. All facets has to change. But for it to shift, it's not a decision in the head. It's a decision in what? The heart. Well, all that's happening is because where the heart is. If the heart is set on light, set on Christ, I am telling you the life will start to shape up. Because God will pass through all of the water, all of the situation, all of the fire with you, and because He's omnipresent.